So what are you most paranoid about today, in terms of staying relevant, in terms of why you believe you continue to have the winner's mindset? I mean, what are you most paranoid about today?
Well, as we discussed, I think we're up against some of the giants who've had decades of distribution advantage over us, right? So the thing that keeps me up at night is primarily like distribution.
Yeah.
I want to get to a point where hundreds of millions of knowledge workers are using Notion every day. And that is my ticket to staying relevant, as a way to make sure that we are going to be considered as a tool, as a company that is amongst the top 3 things you buy when you start a company. Like, we have to be in that top 3 list, because if we're not, then we're not mission critical. And we want to build something that is mission critical, not for a small niche, but for hundreds of millions of knowledge workers.
You talked about the big boys. I'm sure the big boys have come calling, have come knocking. Is that an eventuality that you consider? Have you looked at it, or would you look at it in the future, should that to happen?
Well, as you know, Pulse was acquired by LinkedIn.
Yes.
And then LinkedIn was acquired by Microsoft.
Yes.
So I've gotten to see that twice before. I hope Notion goes all the way and becomes a public company. I actually think this is also something that Ivan told me as a way to recruit me into the job. He said, do you want to continue working at Microsoft, or do you want to build the next Microsoft? And I think that was an inspiring vision for me to join Notion.
As you look at building the next Microsoft, and you talked about potentially going public at some point in time, I mean, how much of an aspiration is that? Are you actively considering that possibility?
We're investing a lot. I mean, in many ways, our business is already public scale. The fact that we're cash flow positive doesn't force us to hit the public markets right away. We don't have any needs for capital. But what we are doing internally is really trying to operate as a public company. And what that means is that we have our own forecasts for what we're trying to do every quarter, and we try to hit those. We are improving the internal controls. For example, making sure we're audited every year, and we're closing the books on time. We have all the right processes and controls, that we're compliant with all the things that larger enterprise needs. And so in some ways, we're actually doing everything we need to do to be a public company, and then that will give us an option to go public. And whether we take that option or not probably depends on a bunch of other factors.